Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Kodesh Sameach Ami.
Kodesh Sameach.
Kodesh Sameach.
Exalted be our Abba's Kadoshim. We're still in the beginning of this year. Todavía estamos en los principios de este año. We're still in the spring. Seguimos todavía en la primavera. And we're still in the awakening of our new lives before Yahweh. Todavía estamos en el despertar de nuestras vidas nuevas delante de Yahweh. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Abba, I pray that in the name of Yahusha, Abba, te ruego que en el nombre de Yahusha, this will be a time of growth for all of us. Este sea un tiempo de crecimiento para todos nosotros. A time of healing, un tiempo de sanación. A time of renewal of our minds and our beings. Un tiempo de renovación de nuestras mentes, nuestros seres. And that this sharing of your word, y que este compartir de tu palabra would be for all of our encouragement and strengthening in our faith. Sea para todo nuestro crecimiento y fortaleza de nuestra fe, nuestra emuná. B'Shem Yahushua HaMashiach. So first of all, así que en primer lugar, the Ruach would like me to remind you the importance of the Chodesh. La Ruach quiere que les recuerde de la importancia del Chodesh. If you can go with me, please, to Isaiah 66. Si van conmigo, por favor, a Isaías 66. Verse 23, 66, verso 23. And we read, y leemos. How can you say, Isaiah 66. And it shall come to pass, y acontecerá, that from one Kodesh to another, de un Kodesh a otro, that's a new month to another new month, de un mes nuevo a otro mes nuevo, and from one Shabbat to another, y de un Shabbat a otro, all flesh shall come to worship before me, says Yahuwah. Toda carne vendrá a adorar delante de mí, dice Yahuwah. So this is a cyclical pattern in the ways of Yahuwah. Este es un patrón cíclico en los caminos de Yahuwah. He expects us before his face. Él nos espera delante de su rostro from Shabbat to Shabbat to Shabbat to Shabbat. De Shabbat a Shabbat, de Shabbat a Shabbat. 52 Shabbats in a year, 52 Shabbats en un año, for the rest of our existences. Por el resto de nuestras existencias. Leolam Waed, para siempre. A never-ending covenant of rest and rejoicing. Un convenio sin fin de descanso y gozar. And not only that, but from Chodesh to Chodesh. Pero no solo eso, de Chodesh a Chodesh. Sadly, tristemente, in Judaism, the Chodesh is not emphasized as much. En el judaísmo no se enfatiza el Chodesh tanto como el Shabbat, as much as the Shabbat. And because Messianic Judaism, or the Messianics, or Hebrew roots congregations follow in the steps of Judaism, they do the same thing. Y tristemente, por causa de que los mesiánicos judíos, o los mesiánicos, o los que siguen las raíces hebreas, siguen en los pasos del judaísmo, ellos hacen la misma cosa, because they imitate the brother Judah, imitan a la Judá. So, it is a blessed people, the one that comes to comprehend the Chodesh. Es un pueblo Baruch, el que viene a entender el Chodesh. The setting apart of the first fruits of each renewal in the year. El apartar las primicias de cada renovación, cada inicio de mes en el año. 12 times a year. 12 veces al año. For the rest of our existence, Leolam Waed. Para el resto del tiempo, Leolam Waed. Let's go to Ezekiel. Vamos a Ezequiel. And we read from Ezekiel this yom on our Parsha, Haftarah Parsha. Y hoy leímos de Ezequiel en nuestra Parasha de Haftarah. chapter 46, capítulo 46, verses 1 through 3, versos 1 a 3. Ezekiel 46 y Ezequiel 46, 1 through 3, del 1 al 3. And as you probably know if you've read the book of Ezekiel, y si ustedes están familiarizados con el libro de Ezequiel, this book talks about the future. Este libro habla del futuro. If you want to minister to people about the future in the Old Testament, this is one of those books, one of these tools that you can use. Si le quieres ministrar a alguien acerca del futuro, esta es una de las herramientas en el primer convenio que puedes usar. Verso 1. This says the Master Yahuwah. Esto declara el Maestro Yahuwah. The gate of the inner court, la entrada del atrio interior, that looks towards the orient, the east, que ve hacia el oriente, shall be shut the 6 working days. Estará cerrado los 6 yamim laborales. In other words, you can't come to the set-apart place of Yahuwah, to the house of Yahuwah, during the 6 days of labor. You have to be out about your work. The Shabbat and the pattern of the 6 days never changes. El Shabbat y el patrón de los 6 yamim laborales nunca cambia. Work is not a curse. El trabajar no es una maldición. Yahuwah gave us work before there was a fall of Adam. Yahuwah nos dio labor antes de que existiera la caída de Adán. And therefore the 6 days of work are a blessing and not a curse. Y por lo tanto los 6 yamim de trabajo son una braca, no una maldición. And if you study your scriptures, the first vocation or the first career that was given to man was a gardening position. Y si tú analizas, la primer vocación, la primer carrera que tuvo la humanidad fue de jardinería, fue la agricultura, agriculture, gardening. So that was our Abba Adam. He was a gardener. Y ese fue nuestro Abba Adam. He was following the footsteps of his Abba Yahuwah, who planted the Garden of Eden. Él estaba siguiendo los pasos de su Abba Yahuwah, quien sembró el jardín del Edén. So let's not put down, like many people do, the landscaping and the gardening and the agriculture and the farming communities, like many do. I know in many cultures that happens. Yo sé que en muchas culturas eso acontece, but they are the people that bring us food to the table. Pero ellos son la gente que nos trae la comida a la mesa. There is great esteem in the person that works the land. Hay gran estima en aquel que labra la tierra, because he feeds humanity. Porque esa persona da de comer a la humanidad, with Yahuwah's help, of course. Por supuesto, con la ayuda de Yahuwah. So those 6 working days, the temple is closed, shut for business, shut out of business. We're not functioning. Yahusha's out there probably with the rest of us working in the garden of Yahuwah. Quizás Yahusha está fuera con el resto de nosotros trabajando en los jardines de Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Because Yahuwah is the master gardener. Porque Yahuwah es el jardinero maestro. And Yahusha was the one that walked with Adam in the cool of the yom. Y Yahusha era el que caminaba con Adam en el fresco del yom. Teaching him how to become a farmer. Enseñándole cómo ser agricultor. So, but on the Shabbat, pero en el Shabbat, it shall be opened, se abrirá. And that yom is set apart for you to come bring your works of thanksgiving and praises for all that you did on the 6 days. Ese yom se abre para que vengas a traer las ofrendas de adoración y exaltación por todo lo que Yahuwah te dio, esos 6 yamim de labor. And in the yom of the Chodesh, it shall be opened. So the first of each Chodesh, of each month, the doors of the house of Yahuwah open up for a big family reunion. En el inicio de cada mes, las aperturas de la casa de Yahuwah se abren para una gran reunión familiar. Yahuwah wants it. That's what the Moadim are. Eso es lo que las Moadim son. Family reunions. Reuniones familiares. And it would be to our shame, y será para nuestra vergüenza, to know that even Satan obeys those commandments. Que aún Satanás obedece esos mandamientos, as we see in the first chapter of Job. como vemos en el primer capítulo de Job. The enemy tells you not to come, but he makes certain he shows up. El enemigo te dice que no vengas, pero él sí obedece y él sí llega. He comes and has his conversations with Yahuwah. Él viene y tiene sus conversaciones con Yahuwah. If the devil can do it, why can't you? Amen. Si el diablo lo puede hacer, ¿por qué tú no? If the devil is free from Pharaoh's bondage on the Moedim of Yahuwah, why can't you be, if you are a son of Yahuwah, set apart and in righteousness? ¿Y por qué si Satanás puede apartarse y desencadenarse de las riendas de Faraón, por qué tú no? Si tú eres un hijo que caminas en el resplandor de Yahuwah y en su rectitud. And the Nasi, that's Yahusha, the prince, y el Nasi, el príncipe, shall enter by the derech of the porch of the gate from the outside. Entrará por el camino de la entrada, del atrio de la entrada de afuera. And shall stand by the post of the gate. Y se parará cerca del marcador de la entrada. And the Kohanim shall prepare his burnt offering. He has assistants. Y los Kohanim le prepararán sus ofrendas encendidas. And his shalom offerings. Those are the offerings that I had mentioned before. Those are never going to stop. The only offerings that cease after when the millennial kingdom begins are the sin offerings. Here we have the burnt offerings and the shalom offerings. Eso es lo que les decía anteriormente. La única ofrenda que cesa es la ofrenda de pecado. Porque Yahusha ya lo hizo para siempre. Yahusha already gave that one once and for all, delivered, once and for all given. And it's continually given before Yahuwah. Y eso continuamente se da de Yahuwah, but by Yahusha himself, the perfect Lamb.
Amen.
So the offerings, the burnt offerings and shalom offerings continue in the millennial kingdom. Así que esas ofrendas continúan en el reino milenial, not the sin offerings, no las ofrendas de pecado. And he shall worship at the threshold of the gate. Y él adorará en la entrada de ese portón. And he shall go out, irá afuera, but the gate shall not be shut until the evening. And here is the principle of when we adore and come before Yahuwah. We come to him in the time of Yom, in the time of day, not in the evenings. In the evenings, the temple is shut. Esto
So,
nos da el
if the day
principio.
started in the evening like the rabbinical Jews teach,
They come
then
and the door would not be open.
why would Yahweh close the doors at evening? He would be opening the
Amen.
doors.
Sí, aquí en este
So the
verso.
day starts at sunrise, not at sunset. The rabbinical Jews are wrong as usual.
Aquí en este verso nos enseña el principio de cuándo es el tiempo de venir a adorar a Yahuwah. Es el tiempo de la claridad, el tiempo del Yom, día, el tiempo cuando el Shemesh está brillando. Y a partir de la tarde, cuando ya va oscureciendo, se cierra la casa de Yahuwah. Nos enseña que la adoración a Yahuwah es en el Yom, no en la Laila.
Excuse me, so we stopped our evening services years ago.
Así que
We
nosotros
used to have them,
paramos nuestros servicios en la
but
tarde
we
años
stopped them years
atrás.
ago, even though it's more convenient.
And what did Yahusha say? And this is something I myself, double-edged sword, is Yahusha is working on me in this respect. There are 12 yamim in the yom. There are 12 hours in a day to work. In the evening we don't work. Este es el principio que hay 12 horas en el yom para trabajar. En la tarde no se trabaja. In the evening we rest. It's a time of rest to be with our families, to prepare our dinner, to wash our garments, wash our bodies, to relax. Es tiempo de venir a nuestras casas, relajarnos, lavar nuestras ropas, lavar nuestros cuerpos, preparar nuestra cena, convivir con nuestra familia, relajar en Yahuwah de nuestra labor. Even Yahusha shuts down business to go rest in his set apart place. Aún Yahusha cierra su casa para ir a descansar. He said, are there not 12 hours in a day? Él dijo, ¿no hay 12 horas en un yom, en un día? And that's when he's prophetically speaking, when time is balanced perfectly, that there will always be 12 hours in a yom and 12 hours in a laila. Está hablando proféticamente del tiempo cuando hayan 12 horas en el yom, 12 horas en la laila. Perfect time, perfect balance. Tiempo perfecto, balance perfecto. Verse 3. Likewise, the people imitate the Nasi, the prince. Y de igual manera el pueblo El pueblo de la tierra, the people of the land, shall worship at the door of this gate. El pueblo de la tierra adorará en la entrada de este portón. Before Yahuwah, delante de Yahuwah, in the Shabbats and in the Chodashim. And that's why we're here. En los Shabbats y los Chodashim. Y por eso estamos aquí. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. That's a short reminder of the importance of Chodesh. Este es un corto recordatorio de la importancia del Chodesh and why we make it a priority to be here before Yahuwah and with each other. Y de por qué lo hacemos una prioridad de estar aquí con Yahuwah y el uno con el otro. Because we're giving him the first fruits of this time. Porque le estamos dando las primicias de este tiempo. The cycle of every 30 days.
And notice how
el ciclo de cada 3 días.
Notice every time the Chodesh is mentioned, it's in the same sentence with Shabbat.
Yes.
So we have said, okay, this is a day we can skip. But Yahuwah says it's the same value and importance as Shabbat. It's not a Shabbat. It's a test to see how we're going to react.
It's a free will offering.
Absolutely.
Sholiach está comentando que siempre que vemos en la escritura o muchas veces que vemos los principios del Kodesh mencionados, los vemos junto en las mismas frases con el concepto del Shabbat. Eso nos está enseñando la importancia del valor del Kodesh a comparación con el Shabbat. Son del mismo valor. Pero el Shabbat, el Kodesh, Yahuwah nos lo da para probar nuestro corazón, para ver cómo valoramos ese tiempo y si venimos voluntariamente a traerle lo mejor de nuestro tiempo. And in the Ruach I'm going to share this. En la Ruach estoy compartiendo esto. Just like the Maazer is the strong part of your harvest, the Omer, así como el diezmo, el Maazer, es la fortaleza de tu cosecha. This yom is the strength of these next 30 days. Este yom es la fuerza, the Bachor, the firstborn day of the next 30. Este yom es el primogénito de los próximos 30. So we give him the strongest, the best, the first. Así que le damos lo más fuerte, lo primero, lo primogénito. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. And for your review also, I didn't mention this, but I should have. Bamidbar 10:10. Igual para ustedes mencionar Bamidbar números 10:10. You can look at the importance too of the levels from Chodesh to Chodesh, from Shabbat to Shabbat. In your days of your gladness, in your appointed times, you shall come before Yahuwah with your offerings, and you will sound the twin trumpets, the twin silver trumpets, to call the people. When both the trumpets are sounded, it's because Yahweh wants both houses before his face. Cuando las dos trompetas se suenan, es que Yahweh quiere las dos casas de Israel delante de su cara.
And when he calls the leaders, just one trumpet.
Cuando solo quiere a los
when
líderes,
he wants the leaders to assemble, it's one
solo
trumpet.
usa una trompeta.
When he wants the whole body of Israel, it's two trumpets.
Amen. Baruch Hashem.
Symbolizing both houses.
So you also have to learn to tune your ears. Igual tenemos que aprender a entonar nuestros oídos in our hearts, to learn the calls to the people, para aprender los llamados al pueblo. One trumpet, okay, that's just for the leaders. I can stay home. Una trompeta es solo para los líderes, yo me puedo relajar en mi casa. Two trumpets, you come before Yahuwah. Everybody is called to the presence of Yahuwah. Dos trompetas, todos son llamados a la presencia de Yahuwah. So, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah, the Ruach gave to me to share with you. That was not the teaching, this will be the teaching. Esa no fue la enseñanza, esta es la enseñanza. The Ruach is giving me to share with you and to share with our brothers and sisters who are probably going through a similar situation. La Ruach me está dando compartir con ustedes y con fraternos y fraternas que quizás estén pasando por la misma situación. Continuing from the last Chodesh, continuando del Chodesh pasado, regarding... And I'm saying this now in the Ruach, and probably will be the title of this message, the gift of death. Con respecto al don o el regalo de la muerte. Because it's not an end, what did Hitler call it? The last solution. It's not the final solution. It's the continuation or transition to our next life. Es la continuación o transición a nuestra próxima vida. Amen. We as the redeemed of Yahusha, nosotros como redimidos de Yahusha, We only go through one death. Solo pasamos una muerte, the death of this flesh. La muerte de este cuerpo, de esta carne. But those who reject the Lamb of Yahuwah, pero aquellos que rechazan al Cordero de Yahuwah must go through 2 deaths. Tienen que pasar por 2 muertes. We don't want that. We want to live. Nosotros no queremos eso, queremos vivir. I'm sharing a testimony. In 2014, 5 years ago, en el 2014, 5 años atrás, I prayed with my grandma and with my grandma's best friend. Oré con mi abuela y con la mejor amiga de mi abuela, that they would receive Yahusha as their Redeemer and Savior. Que ellos recibieran a Yahusha como su Redentor y Rescatador. And they did, y lo hicieron. My lamentation and regret is that I couldn't teach them more about the ways of Yahuwah. Mi lamentación y lamento es que yo no pude enseñarles más acerca de los caminos de Yahuwah. Mami Minga gets a big blessing. Mami Minga tiene una gran braca. She gets to sit here, se puede sentar aquí. She gets to grow in the ways of Yahuwah. Puede crecer en los caminos de Yahuwah.
Amén.
She gets to Shema. Puede oír de las palabras de Yahuwah. You have a big blessing, mami. Usted tiene una gran braca, mamita.
Thank you.
Mami is of that generation. Mami es de esa generación. How old are you, mami? How old are you? ¿Qué edad tiene?
¿Cuántos años tiene usted?
84 this year.
You're a baby. Es una bebé. You have to live to 120, man. Usted tiene que vivir hasta los 100. You're halfway there, man. Va solo a la mitad. So, it depends on you. How much you want of Yahuwah. Depende de usted cuánto quiere de Yahuwah. Yahuwah's healing you. Yahuwah has healed you. Yahuwah le está sanando.
Hallelujah.
He resurrected you from cancer many times already. La ha resucitado del cáncer muchas veces. You're here, mamá. Usted está aquí. Otra gente no puede estar aquí. You get a big blessing. Usted tiene una gran
I
braca.
want to say one thing, because we have a lot of new people.
Quiero decir algo.
Yahweh
tenemos
is
mucha
my
gente
witness.
nueva. Como Yahweh es mi testigo,
I've been in ministry for 34 years.
yo he estado en el ministerio por 34 años
I've
de
never
su
done a
vida
funeral
y nunca he hecho un funeral
from someone who is faithfully planted
de alguien que se planta lealmente como un árbol
in any of my
en
congregations.
ninguna de mis congregaciones.
Yahweh knows
Yahweh sabe
I'm not lying.
que no estoy
Now, there
mintiendo.
are those who left,
Hay unos que se fueron
died.
y murieron.
There are those who would visit once a year.
Unos que visitaban una vez al año,
But as Yahweh lives,
pero como Yahweh vive
no one, in all my congregations,
en todas mis
I've
congregaciones,
never done one funeral.
nunca he hecho ningún funeral.
Rivka can bear witness.
Rivka puede dar testimonio. So mami,
And the
if you,
favor of Yahweh is upon us.
porque ese favor de Yahweh está sobre nosotros. I have strong faith, mami. Yo tengo una fe fuerte, mamá. That if you sit there every Shabbat, from Shabbat to Shabbat, from Chodesh to Chodesh, nunca falle, mami. And your life will be extended. Su vida se le extenderá. And not in that terrible, oh, I'm here. No, you'll come and each week you'll get more healing. No en ese dolor y esa angustia de la vejez, pero cada semana que usted venga va a recibir más de su sanación. You're growing in Yahusha. Está creciendo en Yahusha. And that's for anybody else. I see it with Toba. I see it with Jacob. Eso lo veo con Toba, con Jacob, with Benjamin. They're still kicking. Siguen pateando. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. And their kicks are getting stronger. Y los pateos se están fortaleciendo. Let us turn to 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Vayamos a 2 Corintios capítulo 5. And this is going to be a verse by verse midrash. Este va a ser un midrash de verso por verso. And of course with the translation it will fill in the time nicely. Probably will not get to conclude. Quizás con la traducción vamos a llenar el tiempo todo y quizás no vamos a poder concluir, but let's try. Pero intentémoslo. Chapter 5, 2 Corinthians. Segunda de Corintios capítulo 5. For we know, verso 1. For we know, nosotros sabemos, that if our earthly bait, que si nuestra casa terrenal, our earthly house, of this tent, de esta carpa, de esta tienda, if it were destroyed, si fuera destruida, we still have a building of Eloha. Seguimos teniendo un edificio de Eloha. A house, a bait, not made with hands. Una casa no hecha de manos. Perpetual in the Shamayim. Que vive para siempre en los Shamayim. For in this we groan. Porque en esto gemimos. Earnestly desiring, wanting to be dressed with our house. Anhelando sinceramente ser recubiertos con nuestra casa. Which is from the Shamayim. Que es de los Shamayim. We are from above, no longer from below. We are a new creation. Somos de lo alto. Ya no somos de la tierra. Somos una creación nueva. You are the aliens that many people are talking about. Ustedes son los extranjeros de los que muchos están hablando. We are that new creation. If we do a DNA analysis, they're going to find weird things in our DNA. Si ellos hacen un análisis de nuestro ADN, van a encontrar cosas extrañas. Because year by year, as we take the lamb of Yahuwah, porque año por año, al ingerir el cordero de Yahuwah, we're being renewed in our body, even as we speak. Estamos siendo renovados en nuestro cuerpo, aún al hablar. And that's what's helping us to continue in the way, to be obedient. Y eso es lo que nos permite continuar en el camino y ser obedientes, because we're becoming more of Him and less of who we used to be.
Amén.
Porque estamos siendo más de Él y menos del que antes éramos. So all your sicknesses, all your diseases, all the plagues that hounded you, little by little, they're being discarded. Poquito a poco, esas enfermedades, esas plagas que te asedían, que te acosaban, poco a poco las estamos descartando, like scales falling off of us, like the skin, old skin, así como la piel vieja. We gotta get our loofah. Tenemos que conseguir nuestro loofah and shed that old skin y echar fuera esa piel vieja, that old flesh. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. So we want that. Every time we go, it hurts. Cada vez que hacemos, ay, qué dolor. It's the groaning, like I want my new body. Es ese gemir que ya quiero mi cuerpo nuevo. I can't wait till this pain goes away. No me aguanto hasta que este dolor se pueda ir. I'm ready for my new me. Estoy listo para mi nuevo yo. But little by little, we're like, still running that race with it. Poco a poco seguimos la carrera con ese, ay. Verse 3. So that, I want to pause on this verse 2. We're earnestly desiring to be clothed, to be dressed. Estamos sinceramente anhelando ser revestidos, recubiertos. Where did we lose our garments? ¿En dónde perdimos nuestras ropas? We lost them back in Bereshit. Las perdimos en Bereshit. Go back to chapter 1. Vamos al capítulo, chapter 2. Chapter 3. Vamos al capítulo 3. Where it's talking about where we found ourselves naked. En donde habla de cómo nos encontramos desnudos. Chapter 3, verse 4. And the serpent said to the woman, capítulo 3 de Génesis, verso 4, es cuando primero nos vimos desnudos. The serpent said to the woman, la serpiente le dijo a la mujer, you shall not surely die. No te morirás. And the serpent said, you shall not surely die. For Elohim does know that in the yom you eat of it. Porque Elohim sabe que en el yom que tú comas de él, then your eyes will be opened, tus ojos serán abiertos, and you shall be like Elohim. Y serás como Elohim, knowing Tov and evil,
I have a question.
conociendo el Tov y el mal.
I have a question. What word did Satan leave out in verse 5?
¿Qué palabra excluyó Satanás del verso
Answer,
5?
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Because they were already Elohim.
Porque ellos ya eran Elohim.
Okay? He wouldn't pronounce the name
Él no
for obvious
pronunciaba el
reasons.
nombre por razones obvias.
And he was saying, you'll be Yahuwah, but he didn't use Yahuwah. But he was tempting them to be like Yahuwah, but not Elohim, because they were already Elohim. You see how slick the enemy is?
¿Ven lo astuto que es el enemigo?
And one word he left out. You'll
Una
be
palabra
Yahweh.
que
Because he didn't want to pronounce the
Era
name.
Yahuwah, no quería pronunciar el nombre.
And they were already
Y
Elohim.
ellos ya eran Elohim, ya eran poderosos. They were the
He
king.
is slick.
They were the king and the queen of the planet at that time.
Yep.
They were the emperors of the planet at that time. Ellos eran el rey y la reina del planeta en ese tiempo. Eran los emperadores del planeta en ese tiempo. They were the sovereigns according to the assignment of Yahushua
From the
HaMashiach.
day-
Eran los soberanos de acuerdo a la asignación de Yahushua
From the
HaMashiach.
day he rebelled,
Desde el yom que se
he
rebeló,
never mentioned Yahuwah's
ya
name.
nunca más Satanás mencionó el nombre de Yahuwah.
So we have to overcome that. Oh, we don't have to use the name. We got to overcome that.
Así que tenemos que vencer eso, que ya no tenemos que usar, no
Strength,
podemos usar el
intimacy,
nombre.
relationship.
Tenemos nuestra fe, nuestra intimidad, una relación
We need
íntima
to
con
begin
Yahuwah.
using the name all the time.
Y puedes comenzar a usar el nombre de Yahuwah todo el tiempo. It's Yahweh's gift to you,
Yes.
his name. Es el regalo de Yahuwah a ti, su nombre. He gave it to Hawa, se lo dio a Eva. He gave it to Adam. They were pronouncing the name before Moshe in Shemot 3:15. Ellos ya estaban mencionando el nombre de Yahuwah antes de Moshe en Éxodo 3:15. The name of Yahuwah is not new either. It was from Adam and Hawa. El nombre de Yahuwah no es nuevo tampoco. Adam y Hawa lo decían. Why can't you? After their fall, they called on the name of Yahuwah. Después de su caer, ellos clamaban al nombre de Yahuwah. There is no other name. No hay otro nombre. So
Why didn't he tell them the name?
¿Por qué no les? Because then they get their help.
No, because he
¿Por qué no
considered
les dijo el
himself
nombre?
to be Yahuwah,
Porque él se
And he
consideraba
didn't
como
want
ser
them
Yahuwah.
having the same power
Y no querían que ellos
that
tuvieran el
Satan
mismo
has.
poder
So there's a whole bunch of craftiness.
que tenía Satanás.
We can teach on this one verse for 2
Podemos
hours.
enseñar en este verso por 2
All right, on
horas.
this one verse.
Amén.
So here, Satan knew what would happen to them. Satanás sabía lo que iba a acontecer con ellos. He knew how that fruit would open up their eyes. Él sabía cómo ese fruto les iba a abrir sus ojos. Verse 6. And when the woman saw the tree, that the tree was tov for food. Cuando la mujer vio que ese árbol era tov, bueno para comer, para comida, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, y que era placentero a los ojos. In other words, something would happen with the eyes with that tree. Algo iba a pasar con los ojos con ese árbol. And a tree to be desired. Un árbol que iba a ser anhelado. That tree was temptation all over. Ese árbol era tentación de por completo. To make one wise. Para hacerlo a uno sabio o entendido. She took of the fruit. Tomó del fruto of it. De él. And did eat. Y comió de él. And gave it also to her husband. Y le dio igual a su marido. With her. Que estaba con ella. So he was witnessing the whole thing the whole time. Él estaba siendo testigo de todo eso en ese tiempo. And he didn't say nothing to stop her. Y no dijo nada para impedirle. And he did eat. Y él comió.
So
That's
what's the moral of the
That's
story?
another teaching too.
Husbands should always check what their wife's cooking.
Amén.
Yes. La moral es que hay que chequear la cocina de sus esposas, los maridos. Verse 7. Continuing with the eyes. Continuando con los ojos. And the eyes of both of them were opened. Y los ojos de ambos se les abrieron. And they knew that they were naked. Y ellos supieron que estaban desnudos. So they got busy and became their next career was fashion design. Y su próxima carrera era el diseño de moda. So they got together and started sewing fig leaves. Se pusieron a coser las hojas del higuero.
Why fig leaf?
Because they're big.
Right.
¿Por qué las hojas del higuero? Porque son grandes.
What was the tree that they ate of?
¿De cuál árbol comieron? I personally believe, I don't know, I'm doing a study on that, but I believe it was either a fig tree or a grape. No sé cuál fue, voy a hacer un análisis, pero creo que era de la higuera o de la uva. Or maybe a combination of both.
I believe it's fake.
Quizás fue una combinación de ambos. There's reason to believe why it's grapes, because Yahweh keeps talking about the vineyard of Yahuwah. Hay razón por el que pensar que fueron la uva, porque Yahweh sigue hablando de la viña de Yahweh and how he wants to restore it, y cómo la quiere restaurar, and how when it doesn't come out right and it becomes a bitter grape, he always discards it. Y como cuando no resulta bien y siempre que la pruebas es amarga and it causes problems with his teeth y le causa problemas a sus dientes, la echa fuera and he starts the garden all over again. Y comienza el jardín de nuevo. So that's a deep teaching in itself for another time. Esa es otra enseñanza profunda para otro tiempo. And there are many other clues in the book of Jubilees, in the book of Yashar, y hay otros indicios en el libro de Jubileos, el libro de Yashar, and other parts of the scriptures, even probably in Enoch.
Genesis
Y hay otros
49.
otros
had his-
indicios en otros libros, Yashar,
Yahushua-
Enoch, Jubileos, y quizás igual en Torah.
Yahusha had his mantle dripped in grapes.
Y Yahusha tuvo su
Wine
manto
press.
ceñido en uvas. Yes. So there's a connection between the grape and these fruits. Hay una conexión entre la uva y estos frutos and the fig. I believe the fig was what they saw, the fruit, the tree of the tree of life, because they were literally trying to get back what they knew they had already lost. And that's why they got the fig leaves, because they wanted to be renewed and they wanted to repent, but they were afraid, so they hid. We're going to read about it. Creo que de la higuera tomaron las hojas porque de ahí podían encontrar una vida nueva, el arrepentimiento, podían esconderse, taparse. We'll read. Sigamos leyendo. So they went and they became tailors and seamstresses. Fueron y se hicieron costureros. They got themselves some aprons, se cosieron delantales, because they knew that they were naked, porque sabían que estaban desnudos. And listen to the next, verse 8, verso 8. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah, Shema. It's time to walk with Yahuwah. Es tiempo de caminar con Yahuwah. Escucharon la voz. Walking in the garden. He had some big steps, caminando en el jardín. In the cool of the yom. It was time to walk with Yahuwah. Era tiempo de caminar con Yahuwah. Y era el fresco del yom. And Adam and Hawa, his wife, hid themselves. They ran and like, he's coming! He's gonna see what we did! What do we do? Corrieron. Se fueron a esconder. Van a ver lo que hicimos. And so they went and hid themselves among the other trees. Se fueron a esconder entre los otros árboles. From the presence, the Shekinah of Yahuwah, de la presencia de Yahuwah, among the trees of the garden, entre los árboles del jardín. It's like this. He's coming. He's gonna know.
I would be curious as to that word aprons. Notice the Masonic ceremonies and all that other
Yes,
chazarah
aprons are interesting.
are all
things.
done with aprons. I would like to look at the Hebrew word. I haven't had a chance.
Aprons, los delanteles son una palabra muy interesante y vamos a investigarla. So then, here comes Yahuwah. Verse 9. And 9 is, to me it's a coincidence how these verses synchronize with the things of Yahuwah. Para mí es interesante cómo estos versos sincronizan, se unen con las cosas de Yahuwah. Verse 9 is the number of the Ruach, the spirit of Yahuwah. El número 9 es el número de la Ruach, del espíritu de Yahuwah. So it was the Ruach, the Ruach of Yahusha coming. Venía the voice of Yahuwah. Venía Yahuwah. Yahuwah Elohim called to Adam. You think he doesn't know where he's at? Adam! Adam, where are you? I can't see you. It's time to walk. Come on, buddy. Kawa, hurry up, girl. Let's go. It's time to walk. ¿Ustedes creen que Yahuwah no sabía dónde estaban? Ellos. Y Yahuwah sabía dónde estaban. He says, where are you? Pregunta, ¿dónde están? But the question was not physically, where are you? But where are you in relation to me? Se preguntaba no físicamente dónde estás tú, pero dónde estás tú en relación a mí. Are you ready to repent? ¿Estás listo para arrepentir? Because Yahweh is the stone with 7 eyes that sees everything we're doing. Él es la piedra con 7 ojos que ve todo lo que estamos haciendo. He knew when it was happening. In fact, he knew that it was going to happen. Él sabía cuando estaba aconteciendo y es más, él sabía que iba a acontecer. And that's another I've done another teaching about that. How Hawa was put there in order for this to take place. She was a curious young lady. Y hice otra enseñanza de cómo Hawa fue puesta ahí, para que esto aconteciera. Porque Hawa era una muchacha muy curiosa. Notice how the serpent did not try to go to Adam. Noten como la serpiente no fue con Adán. He knew to go to the weaker vessel. Sabía ir con la vasija más débil.
Just remember the next time we have a fight.
Yes. Él sabía ir con la vasija más débil. And Yahuwah knew that she was the person to initiate that fall. Yahuwah sabía que ella era la persona para iniciar esa caída. Because Adam was not going to fall. He knew what the commandments were. Adam no iba a caer. Él sabía cuáles eran los mandamientos. He didn't fall with the first lady. He knew. Él no cayó con la primer mujer. Él sabía. Verse 10. And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked. Dijo, escuché tu voz en el jardín, y tuve temor, porque estaba desnudo, and I hid myself. Confession time. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Back to 2 Corinthians, de nuevo a 2 de Corintios. So that's where we found out about our nakedness. Ahí es donde fue que descubrimos nuestra desnudez. Don't lose that space because we're going to go back in a little bit. So then here, in we want to be dressed with those garments again that we lost. Queremos ser recubiertos con esas ropas que perdimos. So that then, verse 3 in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, 2 de Corintios 5:3. So that then, unlike now, we will not be found naked. See the connection between all this stuff? ¿Ves la conexión entre todo esto? Para que en ese entonces, a diferencia de hoy, no seamos encontrados desnudos. We're still naked. Even though we're dressed, we're still naked. Aunque estamos cubiertos. Not only do we have this flesh, and we have these garments, and even talits, but we're still naked. No solamente, we have aprons of humanity. Tenemos los delantales de la humanidad, pero seguimos desnudos. We're yearning for that covering that will dress us again. Estamos añorando esa cobertura que nos va a cubrir de nuevo. Right now we have temporary coats. Let's go back to Bereshit 3. En este momento tenemos ropas temporarias. Regresemos a Génesis 3:21, 3:21. Unto Adam also, and to his wife, he said, guys, you don't know how to sew from Adam. Ustedes no saben coser. Let me make you some garments for the meantime. Déjenme hacerles yo unas ropas mientras tanto. And to his wife did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of skins. Así que a Adán y a su esposa igual les hizo abrigos, mantos de pieles. And he dressed them, temporary dresses. Y los cubrió temporariamente. He said, that's no good. I can still see your backside. You're just covering your front. Eso no sirve. Todavía puedo ver sus traseros. Eso solo cubre su frente. Let's cover all of you for now. Vamos a cubrirlos por el momento. That's what we're wearing now. Es lo que tenemos en este momento. But this is the coats made of what? Of skin. And this is the skin of the lamb that was slain before the foundation of the earth.
Right.
Estas son las pieles del cordero, la piel del cordero que murió antes que fue inmolado antes de la fundación del mundo. Yahuwah knew what was going to happen. It was before the foundation of the earth. Yahuwah sabía lo que iba a pasar. Esto fue antes de la fundación del mundo. He knew he had to have those coats ready. Él sabía que tenía que tener esos abrigos, esos mantos listos. Because of what was going to happen. Por lo que iba a acontecer. We were going to be naked and afraid. Íbamos a estar desnudos y con temor. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Right, Rivka? Yes. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem Yehovah.
Verse 4. Verso 4. 2 Corinthians 5:4. Segunda de Corintios 5:4. For we that are in this tent do groan. Repetition, we're groaning. That groaning don't stop for a while. Porque nosotros que estamos en esta carpa gemimos. Because of its weight, por causa de su peso. Uy. The burden, the weight, the gravity that's upon our bones. El peso, la gravedad que está sobre nuestros huesos. Not because we are willing to leave it. We don't want to leave it. But rather to add to it. No queremos dejarla, pero queremos agregarle a ella. And put on the other body. Y cubrirnos del otro cuerpo. So that mortality might be swallowed up by life. Para que la mortalidad sea tragada por la vida. There is a verse, and I could not find it, but you will have to believe me because it is written. Hay un verso que existe y no lo pude encontrar, pero me tienen que creer porque está escrito. That talks about how the New Jerusalem is going to descend. Que habla como la nueva Jerusalén va a descender. Like a bride adorned for her husband. Como una novia adornada para su marido. I know there's a reference to it in Revelation 21, 1 through 3. Sé que hay referencia a ello en Revelación del 21 del 1 al 3. But there's another part of scripture that talks about how it's going to come upon the old Jerusalem. Hay otra escritura que habla cómo va a descender sobre la Jerusalén antigua. And they're literally going to become ejad. Y literalmente van a ser ejad. Here it's talking about our old body. We're not going to get rid of it totally. That's what the dry bones are for. Nuestro cuerpo no nos vamos a deshacer de él completamente. Para eso son esos huesos secos. The new body is going to come upon the bones. El cuerpo nuevo va a venir sobre los huesos. The new Jerusalem is going to come upon the bones of the old Jerusalem. La nueva Jerusalén va a descender como la nueva Jerusalén va a descender sobre los huesos de la antigua Jerusalén. Of the slave, de la esclava, Hagar, la extranjera, the stranger. And the new bride is going to come and adorn those bones.
Yeah, Galatians maybe.
Galatians
The New
4:26.
Jerusalem, the mother of us all.
Yeah, it's in Galatians 4:26. De eso habla en Gálatas 4:26. But that's how we know that the new Jerusalem is our body, is our ima. La nueva Jerusalén es nuestro cuerpo, nuestra ima. And just like we have to follow in the footsteps of our Abba, y así como tenemos que seguir en los pasos de nuestro Abba, excuse me.
Welcome to the ministry.
Amen.
Yeah. Así como tenemos que seguir en los pasos de nuestro Abba, we also have to follow in the footsteps of our Ima. Igual tenemos que seguir en los pasos de nuestra Ima. Abba and Ima and the son, Abba, Ima, el hijo, the whole family. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. So our body is going to imitate the Ima, the bride, the greater bride, the bride of Yahuwah. Así que nuestro cuerpo va a imitar a la novia, la mayor novia de Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
So that's one part of my groaning. Oh, groaning. So that mortality is going to be swallowed up by the immortality. Esa mortalidad se va a ser tragada por la inmortalidad, by the life. Verse 5.
Pardon me. It also means you won't lose your identity.
Igual quiere decir que no
To
vas
be
a perder
swallowed
tu
up with a new
identidad.
body means you won't be Casper the friendly ghost. You're going to keep your identity.
Yeah, your
but
essence
just with
is
a
there.
new body. Yeah.
Yes,
Amén.
tu esencia va a seguir la misma. Your essence is going to be the same. That's why when Yahusha resurrected, they recognized him, but at first they were like, well, who are you? He was a stranger to
Same
them.
person, different form.
Así como Yahusha, cuando él resucitó, él ya tenía su cuerpo nuevo, no lo reconocían de inmediato, but they started recognizing his habits, his mannerisms, pero comenzaron a reconocer sus hábitos, his way of doing the prayers, su manera de hacer las oraciones, the way he held the bread up to do the hamotzi lechem, la manera que levantaba el lechem para hacer el hamotzi lechem, and then they saw the hands that still had the piercings and the side of his side. Luego vieron sus manos y el costado. That was the proof. It's the same essence. La prueba de la misma esencia. And that's why I say, it's talking about marriage. It's talking about the bride. Está hablando del convenio de bodas, la novia. In the kingdom of Yahuwah, not in the resurrection, in the kingdom of Yahuwah, what will Abraham be without Sarah? En el reino de Yahuwah, ¿qué será Abraham sin Sara? What will Isaac be without Rivka? ¿Qué será Isaac sin Rivka? If they got a divorce and Abraham is walking alone and Sarah's over there in that corner and they're not talking to each other, where's the redemption and the reconciliation of all things?
Amen.
Si Abraham está por una esquina y Sara por otra, ¿dónde está la reconciliación y la restauración de todas las cosas? We're Echad here. We will be Echad there. Si somos Echad aquí, seremos Echad allá. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Hashem Yahuwah.
So that's why Yahuwah hates divorce.
Amen.
Por eso Yahuwah odia el divorcio. Because once you become Echad with another being, porque una vez que tú te haces Echad con otro, it's difficult to separate that. Es difícil separar eso. And one go to another and another to another. Y que uno vaya a otro y la otra a otro. So that's why we have to, in all our possible means, always have shalom and be constantly regenerating that forgiveness, that teshuvah, that reconciliation of our marriages, of our loved ones. Por eso tenemos que estar constantemente trabajando en la reconciliación, en la restauración de nuestros convenios. Especially when they are sealed in the name of Yahuwah. Especialmente cuando son sellados en el nombre de Yahuwah. Yahuwah can resurrect the dead. He can resurrect the dead marriage. Yahuwah puede resucitar a los muertos, igual a un convenio muerto. Because the two are one.
Provided the two of them are still fighting for it.
Right.
Proviendo que los
We're not
dos
fighting for it.
estén luchando por
He
ello.
doesn't mess with our hard-headedness.
Yes. So that was a note about marriage. Esa era una nota del convenio de bodas. So these things are important for us to understand and not keep committing the same mistakes. Estas cosas son importantes para entenderlas y no seguir cometiendo los mismos errores. Verse 5. Now he that has prepared for us for the same purpose is Eloah. Ahora, el que ha preparado para nosotros el mismo propósito es Eloha, who has given it to us the pledge of his ruach, que nos ha dado las arras o las pruebas o la garantía de su ruach. So this is the season that we're in. Esta es la temporada en la que hoy nos hallamos, in the expectation of the more of him and the less of us. En la expectativa de más de él y menos de nosotros. That's what Shavuot is. Eso es lo que es Shavuot. The guarantee. La garantía. Where the bride receives from the groom, en donde la novia recibe del novio the pledge of his commitment. La garantía de su compromiso. I will be your husband. I will provide for you. I will do unto you as my wife and as my forever partner. Yo haré contigo como mi esposa, como mi afiliada, mi amiga para siempre. And he gives us of the Ruach, the Matan Torah, que nos da de la Ruach, el regalo de Torah, in the time of Shavuot, en el tiempo de Shavuot, so that we have complete certainty It talks about here many times, certainty, that He is going to come, and He is going to marry us, que Él sí va a venir, y que sí se va a casar con nosotros. That's the guarantee, and that's the expectation of this count of the Omer. Esa es la garantía y la razón por la que contamos la cuenta del Omer. Just like the pagans are like, on the 12 days of Christmas, my true love came. En los 12 días de la Navidad, mi amor me dio a mí,
True
a
love.
guarantee.
Santa Claus.
Is that what it says in that song? My true love gave to me? I didn't even recall that song, but I said it. Okay. Entonces, en la paganidad hacen el festejo de los 12 días antes de la Navidad. And all of us are expecting a big present on Christmas, or many presents. Y muchos de nosotros esperábamos grandes regalos en la Navidad, o en el Día de los Reyes Magos. Because they were imitating Shavuot. Porque estaban imitando a Shavuot, esos paganos. Everything that they have in the world, in the nations, in pagan mode, todos los que tienen en las naciones paganas, en la paganidad, they're cheap imitations of what Yahuwah gave to us originally. Esas son imitaciones baratas de lo que Yahuwah nos dio originalmente. Shavuot is our. Just like you used to get excited for Christmas, that's how excited you should be in this counting of these 50 days, and
Amen.
more so,
Amén.
because you're getting a better gift.
Amén.
Así como tú estabas con mucha ansia, mucha ánimo, mucha alegría esperando los regalos de la Navidad, así deberías de estar hoy en esta cuenta del Omer and the subsequent counts, y en las cuentas subsecuentes, because you're getting more of Him, of His Ruach, which is the power, dinamos, the dynamite of his promises, que es la dinamita de sus promesas. So He has given us His pledge. Él nos ha dado las arras de la Ruach, the pledge of His Ruach. And that's why in the Feast of Pentecost, that's what was given, the Ruach. And the tongues, speaking in many tongues.
Amen.
Por eso en la fiesta de Pentecostés se nos dio de su Ruach. This is not a coincidence, people. It's a repetition of the pattern. Esto no es coincidencia, gente. Es la repetición del patrón. That day that Moshe descended, they were supposed to receive more of the Ruach. But instead, they were feasting with a golden calf. Ese yom que descendió Moshe de la montaña, estaban supuestos a recibir de la Ruach. Pero en lugar estaban festejando con el becerro de oro. So they didn't get no Ruach. No recibieron la Ruach at that time. Those people. Only a few. No recibieron de la Ruach esa gente. On the contrary, 3,000 died. Al contrario, 3,000 murieron. Verse 6, verso 6. Therefore we are always confident. The bride is always confident. Por lo tanto, estamos siempre confiados como la novia en su esperanza. Knowing that while we are at home in the body, sabiendo que mientras estamos aquí en casa, en nuestro cuerpo, we are absent from Yahuwah. Estamos ausentes de Yahuwah. For we have our halacha by emunah, not by sight. Porque tenemos nuestro caminar por fe, no por vista. Because Adam and Eve, when they saw things, they saw they were naked. Porque Adán y Java, cuando veían las cosas, vieron que estaban desnudos. But they were better off being blind to those things. Pero estaban mejor cuando tenían ceguera en cuanto a esas cosas. That opening of the eyes is a curse. Ese abrir de los ojos es maldición. So when we praise and worship, we close our eyes so the physical, the flesh doesn't distract us.
Amén.
Cuando adoramos a Yahweh, cerramos los ojos para que lo físico, la carne, no nos distraiga. Their faces, para que sus rostros, sus caras, don't discourage us and cause us to fear because they see us naked. No nos cause temer el rostro y sus gestos porque nos ven desnudos. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. We look at Yahuwah. We walk by faith, not by physical sight.
Amen.
Caminamos por fe, no por vista. Again, the word. This is why we are confident again. Repetition. Por eso estamos confiados. I say, willing, Rather to be absent from the body and to be present with Yahuwah. Por eso estamos confiados, y lo digo, prefiriendo estar ausentes del cuerpo y presentes con Yahuwah. So that's the comfort that I have in this season for my mourning. Este es el consuelo que yo tengo en esta temporada para mi luto. I will see my grandmother and my friend again, and all those that we have lost.
Amén.
Yo veré de nuevo a mi abuela y a mi amiga de nuevo, y todos los que hemos perdido. When they have Yahusha, they're already covered in those skins. Cuando ellos tienen a Yahusha, ya están cubiertos. In that beauty, en esa preciosura. The definition for the word present, so we can get it in our kishkis, in our bones, para que lo recibamos en nuestras entrañas, en nuestros huesos. ¿Qué quiere decir estar presente? What does it mean to be present? First definition, in a particular place. It's an adjective. Es un adjetivo, a description. Estar en un lugar específico. Second definition, existing, occurring now. To be present with Yahuwah is to be existing in Yahuwah, to be before Yahuwah, to be happening right now before Yahuwah. They are present right now before Yahuwah. En este momento ellos están delante de Yahuwah. They're literally in his face. Están literalmente en su rostro. It's occurring right now. Our people who have gone before us, nuestro pueblo que ha ido delante de nosotros, are present with Yahuwah. Están presentes en Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. It's happening in progress. It's happening right now. Está aconteciendo en progreso en este momento. It is current. It is existing. They're contemporaries at this moment with Yahusha, Yahuwah. En este momento están existiendo. Están presentes con Yahuwah. Son contemporáneos, existing in the same time as Yahuwah. Not suspended in sleep. No están suspensos en el sueño. In the sleep of the flesh. En el sueño de la carne. 6 feet under. 6 pies abajo. Immediately they're there. Inmediatamente, as our brother Benjamin said, what a surprise. Como dijo Benjamin, qué sorpresa. They open their eyes and they're in the presence of Yahuwah after they go away from this flesh. De inmediato al abrir sus ojos se encuentran con Yahuwah. And there are many testimonies of people that have died and have returned from that situation, that experiences.
They all go through a tunnel of light.
Y todo, excuse me, Shole, hold on a second. Hay muchos testimonios de personas que han fallecido y han podido regresar de esa experiencia. Y Sholeak nos dice, todos pasan por un túnel de luz.
Because Yahusha is the way.
Porque Yahusha es el camino.
There's one mediator between Yah and man.
Hay un mediador entre Yahuwah y el hombre.
Yahusha.
El mediador, el hombre Yahusha Mashiach. Por eso todos pasan por ese túnel.
Those people, they don't say I died and went to heaven.
Esa gente no dice yo morí y me fui
They
al
all
cielo.
have to go through a bridge.
Todos tienen que pasar por un puente.
So Yahusha is
Así que Yahusha es el
the
puente.
one mediator,
El mediador.
the bridge.
Ese puente, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
tunnel of light.
And they all witness, they all
Come
bring
out
back.
in the tunnel into love.
Yes.
Tunnel of light becomes a tunnel of love.
Todos pasan por
That's why
ese
they all
túnel
travel
de
in the
luz.
tunnel.
Sí, todos pasan por ese túnel. So all the testimonies that I've read and heard, todos los testimonios que yo he oído y he escuchado, he leído y he escuchado, they talk about the light and the colors. Hablan de la luz y de los colores, how they're much more beautiful there than they are here. Como son mucho más preciosos allá que aquí, that they had never seen colors like those. Que nunca habían visto colores como tales in this world. That's because there's different kinds of lights there. Es porque allá hay luces diferentes. But somehow some are blessed to return and give the testimony. Pero muchos de ellos tienen la braca de regresar y dar el testimonio. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. So to be present to be absent from the body is equal to being present with Yahuwah. Así que el estar ausente del cuerpo es estar presente con Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem.
And that's a promise. And that's a fact. And currently we have many contemporary brothers and sisters who give that testimony. Y actualmente tenemos a muchos fraternos y fraternas que nos dan ese testimonio. There are witnesses. Hay testigos de ello. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. They didn't just die and went to sleep. No, they were immediately awakened to a reality that they were not aware of before. No, de inmediatamente se despertaron a una realidad que no conocían anteriormente, and they came back to talk about it. Y regresaron a hablar de ello. Therefore we labor. Por lo tanto trabajamos, nos esforzamos, that whether present or absent from home, que ya sea que estamos presentes o ausentes, we may be pleasing to him. Le demos complacencia a Yahuwah. Seamos agradables delante de él. Because he said what? Porque él dijo que if you love me, keep my commandments.
Amén.
Si me aman, guarden mis mandamientos. That's why we do the commandments. Not to be saved, but to be pleasing. Por eso hacemos los mandamientos, no para ser redimidos, pero para ser agradables, placenteros delante de Yahuwah. To be that pleasant child, like that one over there. Para ser como ese niño placentero, como ese pequeño que está ya pequeñito. He's an obedient little boy, look at him. Es un niño obediente, mírenlo. He's sitting there. He's a sponge, he's absorbing all of this.
Amen.
Él es una esponja y está absorbiendo todo esto. And look at how he doesn't doubt, not a peep out of him. Ni un
So
ruidito
far.
de él
So
hasta
far.
el momento. And he's just absorbing, está absorbiendo. When Yahuwah talks about Ephraim, he talks about him. That little boy reminds me of that little boy Ephraim. Cuando Yahuwah habla de su niño precioso, Ephraim, that was obedient, que era obediente, that was pleasing to him. Because at one point Ephraim was obedient, porque en un momento Ephraim era obediente. He was the Bajor, and he will be again the Bajor. Él era el Bajor y lo será de nuevo. But just like Adam and Hawa, Ephraim had a mission to accomplish. And he had to go to the four corners of the earth. Y así como Adam y Hawa, Ephraim tenía una misión que cumplir. And just like Adam and Hawa, he had to go to the four corners of the earth. Así como Adam y Hawa tuvo el que ir a las cuatro esquinas del mundo in order to get the seed out, para compartir la simiente, the bones, the DNA, los huesos, el ADN, the program of Yahuwah that's woven in our bones, el programa de Yahuwah que está entretejido en nuestros huesos. And Ephraim appears to be a disobedient son at the moment. Y Ephraim aparenta ser un hijo desobediente en el momento, just like Hawa, she appeared to be a rebellious woman. Así como Hawa aparentaba ser una mujer rebelde. But if it were not for Hawa, we would not be here. That's why she's called the mother of all living beings. Si no fuera por Hawa, no estuviéramos aquí. Por eso se llama la mamá de todos los seres vivientes. She was brave to be disobedient. Ugh. Ella fue lo suficientemente obediente para ser desobediente and go out to the world as a missionary to the four corners of the world, to the 70 nations. Ella fue obediente para ir al mundo en desobediencia, like Ephraim, and take a mission that no one wanted to accomplish. Yehuda does not want to do that mission.
Amen.
Just like Adam. Adam is Yehuda, and Eve is Ephraim. Adam is Yehuda, y Eva is Ephraim. Yehuda did not want to go to the nations. Yehuda had to stay firm, guarding the Torah, guarding the tree. Yehuda no quería ir a las 70 naciones. Tenía que quedarse a guardar y proteger el árbol, the Torah. Hawa had to go out to the nations to birth the many nations. Hawa tuvo que ir a las naciones a dar de nacer a las muchas otras naciones. The Melo Hagoyim. So therefore, verse 9, we labor. Trabajamos. Jawa tuvo que ir a las naciones, hacer nacer a las naciones. Ella es como Efraín. Tuvo que ir a las 4 esquinas del mundo para que se proclamara y se regara de las alegres nuevas de Yahuwah, la simiente de Abraham. Adán es como Yahuda, se queda firme protegiendo al árbol. Adam is like Judah, stays firm, protecting the tree, the Torah, his identity, su identidad. He doesn't forget who he is, no se olvida de quién es. He doesn't forget about the commands, no se olvida de las órdenes, that you cannot eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, que no puedes comer del árbol del conocimiento del bien y del mal. Pero Ephraim is brave and says, I gotta know what's happening out there. Efraín es valiente y dice, yo tengo que saber qué está pasando allá, so that I can come back with an even more joyful heart, para poder yo regresar con un corazón mucho más jubiloso, like we are all here today, coming back from our abominations, como estamos aquí todos regresando de nuestras abominaciones, and lamenting like we read in Ezekiel 37 who we were, y lamentando como en Ezequiel 36 de quién éramos. Repenting wholeheartedly, arrepintiéndonos de todo corazón what we did and how we disobeyed, de lo que hicimos y cómo desobedecimos, and how we left our Abba's house like the prodigal son to go eat with pigs, y de cómo abandonamos la casa de nuestro Abba para ir a comer con los puercos, so that we could appreciate that tree over there.
Amen.
Para que pudiéramos apreciar ese árbol que está ahí, and come back through the double-edged sword, spinning round and round in all directions, y pasar por la espada de dos filos, dando dirección a todos lados, getting chopped up in the flesh, que nos pasáramos por esa. It's basically a meat grinder. If anybody tried to get back through those two cherubim, they were going to get through a meat grinder. You can't come back with that flesh, said Yahuwah. Si pasabas por esas espadas, let's go to that, let's see what it says. Si pasas por esas espadas, pasas por un moledor, un molino de carne. Verse chapter 3, capítulo 3 de Bereshit, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. You can't come back with that dirty flesh. Can't come back the way you are. At least not for a moment. You have to make a pause there and go through the grinding. Por un momento tienes que parar ahí, hacer pausa y pasar por la moledora. And I'll read it in English. It says, so he drove the man out. He drove out the man. Así que echó fuera al hombre. Genesis 3:24. Echó pues fuera al hombre. He drove him out. He said, go. You have a mission to do. Vete, tienes una misión que hacer. You have to go conquer the world and show my name. Tienes que ir a conquistar al mundo y enseñar mi nombre. You cannot stay in the little garden. No te puedes quedar en el jardincito. You have to go to the world, to the ends of the earth. Tienes que ir a los fines de la tierra and be the king that I'm calling you to be. And the minister, according to the Melchizedek order.
Amen.
Tienes que ir al mundo. De acuerdo a la orden de Melchizedek y tomar las riendas del mundo de nuevo and take back the authority of this world. Yes. Go wrestle with Satan. Ve a luchar con Satanás because you will win. You are Israel. Porque tú ganarás. Tú eres Israel. I will teach you. I will teach you how to wrestle with Elohim. At the brook of Yabok. Yo te enseñaré cómo luchar contra los fuertes en el pozo, en el llano de Jabok, which interestingly enough, if you play with those words, it says Jacob. Si juegas con esa palabra es Jacob, Jabok, Yabok. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Yahuwah has amazing lingual, verbal.
Yes.
Yahweh is a master wordsmith. Yahweh es un maestro de la letra y la palabra. So he said, go out. And he placed at the east, we were talking about that gate, that the Nasi is going to open on Shabbat and on Chodashim. Estábamos hablando de esa entrada que el Nasi va a abrir en los Shabbat y los Chodashim. The other 6 days, go out there and work. Los otros 6 ya me ve a trabajar. can't come in here. You have to work. No puedes entrar aquí. Tienes que ir a trabajar. So he placed at the east, at the orient of Gan Eden, cherubim, guardians. Puso al oriente del jardín del Edén guardianes, cherubim. And a flaming sword that turned in every direction, meat chopper. Y una espada que daba toda dirección, un moledor de carne. If you want to come through here, you got to leave that flesh behind. Si quieres regresar aquí, tienes que dejar esa carne atrás. I can only be worshipped in Ruach and in Emet. Yo solamente puedo ser adorado en Ruach y en Emet. Not with this stinky flesh. No con esta carne apestosa. To guard the way back to the tree of life. Para proteger el camino, the way to the tree of life. Yahusha said, I am the way.
Amen.
I am the truth, the tree.
Amen.
I am the life.
Amen.
Yahusha dijo, yo soy la Emet, yo soy el camino, yo soy el árbol de la Emet y la vida.
In the tent and the temple we were talking about earlier,
El azúcar, el templo del que estábamos hablando anteriormente.
man had to go
El hombre tenía que pasar
west,
al occidente
and then they could only go to the outer court, as we discussed.
y solo podían entrar al atrio exterior.
Then the
como hemos
priest in the
hablado.
inner court.
Y luego el ministro que estaba en el atrio, en el cuarto
No man
interior,
can go past the flaming angels with the flaming sword.
nadie podía pasar a través de los ángeles que estaban flameando con la espada flameante
That were sewn onto the tapestry
y que fueron cosidos en el velo,
of the inner veil,
del velo
to the
interior,
Holy of Holies.
del Kadosh
So
Kedoshim.
Yahweh marked the spot
Así que Yahweh marcó ese
where the
lugar
Garden of Eden was.
donde estaba el jardín del
You
Edén.
have to go, where were the angels? East of Eden?
Yes.
On the
In
eastern
the
side?
orient. Donde
Okay.
estaban los ángeles al oriente del jardín.
So you had to go west
Así que tenías que ir al occidente
to go back to Eden.
para regresar al jardín del
So
Edén.
Yahweh marked the spot
Así que Yahweh marcó ese lugar
where the tree of life was,
donde estaba el árbol de la vida,
in the Holy of Holies.
en el lugar más apartado. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And that's what the cherubim are over the table, the Ark of the Covenant. Es ahí donde están los cherubim sobre el arca del convenio. Those are the cherubim. Esos son los querubines. And nobody can go into that set apart place but
But when
Yahusha.
Yahusha
Y
died,
nadie puede entrar a ese lugar apartado más que Yahusha. Pero cuando murió Yahusha,
what was ripped?
que se rompió the veil, el velo, which was the flesh, que era la carne. That veil is representative of this flesh, the earthly flesh. Ese velo es representante de esta carne física, and it was opened. The way was made again. Se abrió de nuevo el camino. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem.
So we labor, we do those commandments, we want to be pleasing, not for our redemption, because we can't be redeemed by doing those things. We can only be redeemed by accepting the blood of the Lamb,
Amen.
the garments that cover us. Así que hacemos esos mandamientos no para ser recibidos, no para ser redimidos, no para ser aceptos de nuevo, sino que los hacemos para complacer a nuestro Abba, enseñarle que esta vez sí queremos obedecerle. To show him that now we do want to obey. We don't want to be that prodigal anymore, the explorer son. No queremos ser ese hijo pródigo, el explorador. We're tired of being explorers. We are tired of being people going out to the ends of the earth. We now want to come to the refuge of the house of Yahuwah. Hoy queremos venir al refugio de la casa de Yahuwah and be by his bosom. Y estar junto a su seno and recline next to him y recargarnos junto a él and be the beloved of Yahusha y ser los amados de Yahusha.
Man.
Verse 10, verso 10. For we must all appear before the bema seat, right there, the cherubim, porque todos tenemos que aparecer delante de la mesa, el asiento de juicio of Mashiach, where the cherubim are covering, donde los cherubim están cubriendo, that everyone may receive the things done with his body, para que todos podamos recibir las cosas que hicimos con nuestros cuerpos, nuestro cuerpo, and ultimately the body of Yahusha, y máximamente el cuerpo de Yahusha, according to what he has done, de acuerdo a lo que él hizo, whether it be tov or bad, de acuerdo a lo que hicimos, ya sea bueno o malo. Everything is being counted what we're doing to this body, to this vessel, of this instrument of ministry. Todo está siendo contado con lo que hacemos con este instrumento de ministerio. This is how we minister the things of Yahuwah. This vehicle, este vehículo, este transportador. It's our car, es nuestro carro. And our fuel is the Ruach HaKadosh. Y nuestro alimento, nuestra comida es la Ruach HaKadosh.
Amen.
Dynamos, dynamite, the power. Dynamos, el poder. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah, el dinamita.
That's why we're not allowed, excuse me, that's why we're not allowed to put substance.
Por eso no se nos
Because we're
permite
defiling the vehicle, and
poner
the vehicle won't work
sustancia. Estamos
with
contaminando el
his mind, with a
transportador.
clear mind.
Tenemos que funcionar
So
con una
when we
mente
do
clara.
drugs and alcohol, what we're doing,
Así que cuando abusamos de drogas, alcohol, lo que estamos haciendo,
we are crashing the vehicle
estamos chocando el transportador, el carro
that he wants to use.
que él quiere usar.
So it's very disrespectful
Así que es una gran falta de respeto
to the Creator.
al Creador. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. And I'm going to say this, I'm saying this in the Ruach, and I know I'll step on your toes, but I'm here to step on your toes. Lo voy a decir esto en la Ruach y sé que voy a pisotear algunos deditos, pero estoy aquí para ello. Going back to that question of what was the fruit, regresando a la pregunta de cuál era ese fruto, we also have the principle of the Nazarite vow. Tenemos igual el principio del voto nazareo, where a person who wants to and needs to and has to be fully dedicated in the Ruach to Yahuwah, en donde hay una persona que completamente quiere o está designado a estar completamente dedicado al servicio de Yahuwah a través de la Ruach, it is prohibited to that person ingest any product or byproduct of the grape. Se le prohíbe a esa persona ingerir cualquier producto, biproducto de la uva. Because the grape somehow cancels the power of the Ruach HaKadosh. Porque la uva de alguna manera cancela el poder de la Ruach HaKadosh. That's why Shimshon was powerful. Por eso Shimshon era fuerte. Because he obeyed that command since before he was born. Él obedecía esa orden desde antes de que naciera. And he was designated as a judge for such a time as that to bring about the righteousness of Yahuwah in that time. Y él fue designado como un juez en ese tiempo, tal como aquel, para hacer traer la rectitud de Yahuwah en ese tiempo and to bring down the house of Dagon y derrumbar la casa de Dagon. For such a time as that was Shimshon brought. Para ese tiempo era Shimshon traído. And Yahusha, I believe as well, was one of those of the Nazarite vow. Igual yo creo que Yahusha era aquel que llevaba ese voto. He had to be strong for his work and his mission. Él tenía que ser fuerte para su misión y su labor. I will risk myself to say, yes, he sat with the wine bibbers. Él se sentaba con los que bebían vino. But I don't believe he drank of the wine. Just like at the end, he did not drink of that vinegar or the wine. Yo me arriesgo en decir que él no bebía. He worked with the first miracle he did was the transformation of the water to the wine. Él trabajó con el vino to restore that vineyard, para restaurar la viña. But he worked with water first. Pero él primero trabajó con las aguas. And it was a wine that those people had never tasted before. My sister was talking to me about the education of the palate regarding the wine. Mi abuela me estaba hablando de la educación del paladar con respecto al vino. That master of ceremonies knew what that wine was. He knew what tov wine was. Ese maestro de ceremonias conocía lo que era un vino tov. And the wine that he was given to test, because he had the first taste test, Y ese vino que se le dio a probar, porque él fue el primero, at the miracle of Cana, él fue el primero que probó ese vino. He said, wow, you reserved the best wine for last. Y dijo, mira cómo reservaste ese mejor vino para lo último. And that's why Yahusha said, I will not drink of this until I'm seated again at the Shulchan Aruch with my Abba. Y él dijo, yo no beberé de este vino hasta que yo esté sentado en la mesota grande con mi Abba. At the wedding celebrations, feasts of the Lamb, en la celebración del Cordero. And he had to abstain from it to accomplish his work because he needed a great measure of the Ruach. Y él tenía que abstener de él porque él necesitaba de ese poder de la Ruach. Because part of him didn't want to do it in the Garden of Gethsemane. Porque parte de él no lo quería hacer en el jardín del Getsemaní. So he had to take of the grape. Así que tenía que tomar de la uva. To be fortified in the Ruach. Para ser fortificado en la Ruach. And his bones fortified in the Ruach. Y sus huesos fortificados en la Ruach. To accomplish his mission. The biggest mission of all time. Para cumplir su misión, que era la mayor misión de todo el tiempo. The redemption of the world. And I know I'm pressed for time, so I will jump over to this verse. Sé que ya se me acaba el tiempo, así que brincaré a este verso. Verse 18, verso 18. There's more to teach here. Hay más de que hablar y enseñar. And these principles that I spoke of are repeated through several parts of this text. But look at this. All things are of Yahuwah. Brinquemos al verso 18, ya se me acaba el tiempo. Todas las cosas son de Yahuwah, who has restored us to himself, que nos ha restaurado a sí mismo, to the tree of life. By Yahusha HaMashiach, the bridge, a través de Yahusha HaMashiach, el puente. And has given to us the service, the ministry of restoration and renewal. Y que nos ha dado el ministerio de la restauración y la renovación. Return, Teshuvah. Definitely then Yahuwah was in Mashiach. Definitivamente entonces Yahuwah estaba en Mashiach. Restoring the world that got broken to himself. Restaurando al mundo que fue quebrantado a sí mismo. Not counting the trespasses against them. No contando las transgresiones en contra de ellos. And has committed to us the word of restoration. Y nos ha encomendado la palabra de restauración. Now then, we are ambassadors. Por lo tanto, nosotros somos embajadores. We are representatives. We are envoys. We are shlichim. We are sent ones. Somos enviados. Somos apóstoles. Embajadores for Mashiach, para Mashiach, through Eloha, a través de Yahuwah, Eloha. And he's asking you, y te está pidiendo a ti, through us, a través de nosotros, because we are the voices, we are the tongues, nosotros somos las voces, las lenguas, just like in Pentecost, they were begging the other people to make teshuvah on that yom, and to be redeemed of Yahuwah, and to be born again. Así como en Pentecostés, ellos lo estaban proclamando a los que venían de las otras naciones, a que se arrepintieran y que nacieran de nuevo. And 3,000 were immersed in that yom. Y 3,000 fueron inmergidos en ese yom, to live again in the garden of Eden. Para vivir de nuevo en el jardín del Edén. We beg you on Moshiach's behalf. That's what Kepha was doing. He was begging them. A causa de Mashiach, be restored to Yahuwah. Come back to the garden. Sean restaurados a Yahuwah. Regresen al jardín. Hey, little boy, come back. Niñito, regresa. Ephraim, it's time to come back home. Ephraim, es tiempo de regresar a casa. For he has made him, the Lamb of Yahuwah, to be the sin sacrifice for us. In Ezekiel, we're not going to need that sin sacrifice anymore. Porque Él va a hacer que Él sea la ofrenda de pecado. Who knew no sin, que no conocía pecado. that we might be made the tzedakah of Yahuwah, para que podamos ser hechos la rectitud de Yahuwah, la justicia de Yahuwah, of Yahuwah in him. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Excellent. You done?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Rebbe sing us that, please? Rebbe sing? Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Beautiful.
Baruch Hashem.
It's almost like you read my notes.
I did. I did read your notes. I cheated.
No, you didn't. You made it your own. Tov, tov, tov. That was beautiful.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Hallelujah.
We already did the Shema,
Ya hicimos el Shema.
so
Así que
we can go right to Kadesh and Aleinu
proceder a Kadesh al Aleinu.
on page 23
En la página 23.
and forward. Everyone's standing for Kadesh.
Yes.
Aleinu.
Please stand for the cottage facing Yerushalayim.
Amen. Hayechon uvyomechon ubchayedecho beis Yisrael. Bagala, bagala. Amen. Yesh meraba mevora. Yalala me'omaya. Yipara. Yistara. Vavitromami.